Welcome, curious minds, to The Deep Dive.
Hello.
Today, we're embarking on a truly captivating journey, deep into ancient lore. We're unearthing a story that might just redefine what you think of as wealth, identity, and, well, the surprising path to genuine prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
You sent us this really intriguing text, and our mission today is to dig into the Kumbhaghosakavatthu. It's a fascinating tale from the Dhammapada commentary, and really extract its most potent insights for you.
Yeah, this is a great one. This deep dive is centered around an individual who, despite possessing this immense hidden wealth, chose to live a life of deliberate poverty.
Right.
It's a narrative packed with peculiar circumstances, unexpected turns, all leading to this profound discovery about what it truly means to be, well off in the deepest sense. It's a timeless teaching, really holds a lot for us to unpack.
Okay, so this incredible journey begins with something pretty sudden and devastating. Our story opens in the ancient city of Rajagaha, and a terrifying plague, it's known as the Ahivata Karoga, sweeps through a rich man's household. But this isn't just any plague. It moves in this, bizarre, almost methodical way.
Yeah, that's what's so striking. It starts with the flies, which is strange enough.
Right.
Then larger animals like cows, then the servants and workers, and finally the rich man and his wife themselves. It's like the systematic wipeout.
A total systematic decimation.
It's almost like, the universe is clearing the decks, forcing a complete reset, setting the stage for a profound personal test for the one who manages to survive.
Absolutely. And as the rich man and his wife are dying, they give their son, Kumbhaghosakavatthu, a truly shocking directive. I mean, really shocking.
Yeah.
They tell him to literally break through a wall and flee for his life. But there's this incredible twist.
There always is.
They also tell him that if he survives, he should return, find 40 cores of treasure hidden in a specific place, and use it to live. Now, just to put that in perspective for you, a crore is 10 million.
So we're talking about an absolutely staggering amount. 400 million units of wealth.
Unimaginable wealth for that time.
Yeah.
Enough to make him one of the richest people, easily.
And that directive, abandon your dying parents, smash through a wall, run. It's brutally pragmatic, isn't it?
Incredibly so.
It's not just about physical survival. It's like forcing a complete break from his past, even those really sacred bonds. And then there's the weight of knowing this vast fortune awaits. It's almost a burden as much as a blessing.
Yeah, it definitely amplifies that test of character you mentioned.
For sure.
So Kumbhaghosakavatthu does it. He follows their instructions. Can you even imagine the emotional weight?
No.
He cries, bows to his parents, breaks the wall, and escapes into a mountain forest. And he lives there for an astonishing 12 years.
12 years, just gone from society.
Right, before finally returning to his old home.
And this is where his transformation really takes hold. He left as a youth, right?
Yeah.
By the time he returns, he's got a full beard, long hair. He's changed so much that absolutely no one recognizes him. Amazing. And he finds the treasure, the 40 crores, exactly where his parents said it would be, completely safe.
So you might be thinking, great, instant millionaire. Problem solved.
Logically, yeah.
But Kumbhaghosakavatthu doesn't touch a single coin. Not one. He thinks about it, assesses the situation. Okay, nobody recognizes me. If I just start spending this money, people might seize me. They'll think I'm just some poor guy who stumbled on treasure. They'll harass me.
It's a valid concern.
So he makes this astonishing and, frankly, totally counterintuitive decision.
He decides to live by working for wages, gets some ragged clothes, walks into the wage earner's street, and just asks, hey, does anyone need a laborer?
Incredible restraint.
What's fascinating about his reasoning here is that fear, that profound fear of vulnerability that can come with sudden, unexplained riches, especially when you don't have a recognized identity.
Right.
It speaks to this deep human concern about legitimacy, about security, even when you're technically sitting on a mountain of gold.
And the job he gets is pretty unique, too. Pabodhana Kodanakama.
Which translates to
awakening and urging work. Basically, every morning he gets up super early to wake people up.
like a human alarm clock.
Exactly. Tells them, harness your carts, yoke your oxen, get grass for the elephants and horses. Tells the women, get the food ready. He does this day in, day out.
It's almost comical when you picture it right. A man who could probably buy the entire street,
Or the city.
acting as the neighborhood wake-up call and taskmaster.
Yeah.
It just highlights his deliberate choice to embrace this humble, almost invisible life.
Now, here's where the plot really thickens considerably.
Okay.
One day, King Bimbisara, who is said to possess this almost supernatural ability to, like, know all sounds, he hears Kumbhaghosa's voice from way off.
Just hears the voice.
Just the voice. And the king immediately declares that is the voice of a very rich man.
Wow. And this king, known for this exceptional hearing, it's like he picks up on something deeper, right?
Exactly.
It's as if Kumbhaghosa's true inner state, maybe his potential, his sort of destined wealth, was literally resonating in his voice, despite his clothes, his job, everything.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If our own internal state has a kind of sound that maybe others pick up on, even subconsciously.
It really does.
So a curious maidservant hears the king's pronouncement. And she's sharp. She thinks, the king wouldn't just say something like that for no reason.
Good intuition.
She sends a man to investigate. He comes back, reports, nah, he's just a poor wage earner.
Predictable, based on appearances.
But the king hears the voice again on the second day and the third day and repeats his assessment. Nope, that's the voice of a rich man.
And this repeated affirmation from the king, despite the, seemingly contradictory evidence that fuels the maid's persistence, she knows there must be something more to it.
A hidden reality beneath the surface.
Exactly.
And what she does next, well, it's a masterclass in cunning. Seriously elaborate.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
She devises this whole scheme. She goes to the king and says, basically, give me 1,000 coins and I'll bring this guy's weft to the palace.
Bold move.
The king gives her the money. So she dresses her daughter in dirty, ragged clothes, and they go to the wage earner's street, pretending to be travelers, totally down on their luck.
The setup.
They end up at Kumbhaghosa's empty little house. He tries to turn them away, like, no room, sorry. But the mother stubbornly insists, just one day. We just need one day.
Wearing him down already. This whole thing is strategic manipulation, isn't it? Designed to slowly erode his defenses and expose the truth.
Totally. So the next day, she insists on cooking for him. He protests, no, I have my own ways, but she persists. She takes the meager stuff he gives her, then secretly brings in pure rice, ghee, all sorts of exquisite royal-style foods from the market, and cooks these amazing meals for him.
The softening up phase.
Exactly. After he eats this incredible food, his heart softens a bit. He feels maybe a little indebted, a little more comfortable, and she convinces him to let them stay longer.
That gradual softening, using good food and persistent, seemingly harmless requests, it's a classic strategy and clearly effective here. She's disarming him one meal at a time.
Then comes the truly audacious part. I mean, this is wild.
Okay.
She starts systematically dismantling his last bit of comfort, his bed. Using a sharp knife, she begins cutting the strings underneath his bed frame.
No way.
Yes, little by little, over several days, so he doesn't notice right away. When he sits down, the bed starts to sag.
Uh-oh.
He complains, what's wrong with my bed? She blames the neighborhood kids. Oh, they must have been jumping on it.
Devious.
She keeps cutting until there are only 1 or 2 strings left. Finally, he sits down, and the whole thing collapses. He crashes to the ground, hits his head, his knees.
Wow, that's quite something. This calculated, almost absurd act, it underscores the sheer audacity of her plan, doesn't it?
It really does.
She's not just taking away his physical comfort, she's symbolically and, well, literally, eroding the ground beneath him, stripping away his resistance piece by piece.
He's utterly distraught. He cries out, now I'm homeless, even from my own bed.
Yeah.
She pretends to be helpless, like, oh dear, what can we do? And then, here's the kicker.
There's more.
Oh yeah. She calls her daughter over and says, loud enough for him to hear, daughter, make some space for your brother to sleep.
His brother.
Oh boy. The daughter lies down, invites him over, and the mother encourages him, go on, sleep with your sister. That very night, they become intimate.
Wow, okay. That highlights the extreme, really unconventional measures used here. It's all about breaking through his isolation, right? Forcing him into a social contract, however.
Yeah.
Unusually it begins.
Definitely breaking down those self-imposed barriers, pushing him into a new, undeniable reality.
Yeah.
So the next morning, the daughter is crying. The mother asks why. The daughter reveals what happened between them.
And the mother's reaction.
Totally calm.
Yeah.
She just says, well, what can be done? You were meant to have a husband and he was meant to have a servant. And just like that, boom, he's her son-in-law.
The sheer pragmatism and the acceptance of the situation. It's remarkable. All focus on the outcome, not the, let's say, unconventional means. It's all about the end game for her.
Absolutely. So a few days later, the new mother-in-law sends another message to the king.
Still pulling the strings.
Yep. Order a festival in the wage earner's street. Announce that whoever doesn't hold a festival will be fined a certain amount.
Yeah.
The king may be just intrigued by this whole ongoing saga.
We're maybe seeing where this is going.
Right. He obliges.
Yeah.
He orders the festival and the fine.
What an ingenious move. She keeps using the king as a tool, doesn't she? Knowing that a royal decree is a financial lever she can pull to finally force his hand about the money.
Exactly. So Kumbhaghosakha, now he's got this mother-in-law pressuring him, the king's order. He complains, I can barely live on my wages. How can I afford a festival?
The pressure mounts.
She urges him, just take a loan. Royal orders can't be ignored. You can always repay debt. So very reluctantly, he goes to his treasure spot
Finally.
and brings back only one kapine, a single coin from his 40 crores.
One coin. That just vividly shows the depth of his caution, his immense reluctance. Even under all this pressure, he only gives the absolute minimum, still desperately trying to keep that secret.
Incredible. She takes the coin, sends it to the king as proof, maybe, and then holds the festival using her own money.
Clever. Establishes the precedent, keeps the pressure on.
So she repeats the scheme. Another message to the king, another festival ordered, another fine.
Round 2.
This time, after even more pressure from the mother-in-law, Kumbhaghosakha brings back 3 kahupatis. Still practically nothing compared to what he has.
Still resisting.
She sends these 3 coins to the king. Then she sends one final message. Okay, now send men to summon him.
Ah, the endgame arrives. This escalation shows her calculated plan reaching its climax. She's meticulously built this paper trail, this narrative. She's got him cornered.
Completely. So the king sends his men. When they find Kumbhaghosakha, he's terrified. He refuses to go. The king doesn't know me. Why would he want me?
Still clinging to his anonymity.
They have to drag him there by force. But then, just as they reach the palace, his mother-in-law makes this grand entrance.
A big reveal.
She starts scolding the guards. How dare you grab my son-in-law like that? She reassures Kumbhaghosakha, don't be afraid. I'll have the hands of those who touched you cut off.
Wow, talk about a shift in power dynamics.
Right, and she and her daughter quietly change into these ornate, beautiful clothes and stand right there by the palace entrance. A stunning transformation from their previous disguise.
That powerful display, it's the ultimate reveal of her identity and her strategic genius. It's this moment of dramatic power, going from seeming commoner to this regal, commanding figure. It kind of legitimizes the whole bizarre journey up to this point.
It really does. So Kumbhaghosakha is brought before the king. The king asks him straight up, are you Kumbhaghosakha? He confirms, yeah.
The moment of truth.
Then the king asks, why are you concealing great wealth and, well, basically living off scraps? Kumbhaghosakha still denies it. I don't have any wealth. I live by wages.
Unbelievable tenacity.
But then the king shows him the coins. The 1 kahapa, the 3 kapas.
The evidence.
Kumbhaghosakha recognizes them. He realizes he's trapped. He sees the 2 women standing there, all adorned, and he finally confesses. He just says, I have no refuge.
That's a powerful statement.
The king offers, I will be your refuge, and Kumbhaghosakha accepts.
In that exchange, it really drives home the idea, doesn't it? That true refuge, true security, it might not be found in hidden gold or isolation.
No.
It's found in relationship, in trust, in protection. He finds safety not in his hoard, but in this new, powerful alliance with the king.
Exactly. So the king asks, okay, how much wealth are we talking about? Kumbhaghosakha admits 40 crores.
Just drops that number.
The king asks what he needs to retrieve it. Kumbhaghosakha just says, carts.
Simple request for such a huge task.
The king sends hundreds of carts. They bring all the treasure back, pile it up high in the royal courtyard. He gathers all the people of Rajagaha.
A public spectacle.
He asks the crowd, does anyone else in this city have wealth like this? They all say, no way, king. Then he asks, so what should be done for this man, Kumbhaghosakha? And the people declare, he should be honored.
And that number again, 40 crores, 400 million.
Right.
The sheer scale is just staggering. It makes his previous humble life seem even more impactful, doesn't it?
Totally. Such a stark contrast. Really highlights his extraordinary character.
Mm-hmm.
So the king honors Kumbhaghosakha greatly, appoints him to the official rich man's position, to Sifiana, and he even gives him his daughter
Who made servant's daughter.
in marriage. Talk about a full circle moment.
It really is. That's the ultimate societal reintegration, the validation of his status, from hidden wealth and obscurity to public honor and his rightful place.
So finally, after all this drama, Kumbhaghosakha and the king go together to visit the teacher, the Buddha.
Ah, bringing it to the spiritual source.
The king tells the teacher the whole story about Kumbhaghosakha, marveling at him.
Yeah.
He says, you know, how could a man with 40 crores live like a poor person? He showed no arrogance, no pride. I've never seen such a resolute person.
And this sets the perfect stage for the core teaching, doesn't it? It's the moment where the practical experience of the story gets distilled into universal wisdom. It's the so what behind this whole incredible narrative.
Exactly. And the teacher responds saying, living like that is a righteous life, great king.
Interesting, even the hiding and working part.
Well, he clarifies, stealing, things like that, cause suffering in this world and the next. There's no happiness from that. He continues, for a man, when he is without wealth, living by labor or farming is a righteous life.
Okay, so the method of living matters.
Right. And then he says, for such a person, meaning someone living righteously, whether they started poor or chose that path like Kumbhaghosaka initially did, diligent, mindful, pure in action, acting with discernment, self-controlled in body and speech, living a righteous life, and constantly mindful, his prosperity grows.
Ah, that's the profound insight. The definition of a righteous life, Dhammacakka, it isn't actually tied to your external circumstances or how much money you have or don't have.
Not at all.
It's fundamentally tied to your internal quality and your actions. That's a complete shift in perspective from just looking at, bank accounts.
Absolutely. The teacher then delivers this really powerful verse that encapsulates it all. For one who is diligent, mindful, pure in action, acting with discernment, self-controlled, living a righteous life, and heedful, his glory increases.
His glory increases.
Yeah. And let's really dig into what each of those qualities means, because the commentary gives us some incredible, very actionable definitions. This isn't just abstract stuff.
Right. This is where the wisdom becomes truly applicable for you, the listener, no matter what your current situation looks like. So first up is
Diligence, Ihanavaida. It's about having a strong, energetic effort, like really putting in exertion, not just phoning it in.
got it. Not just showing up, but engaging.
Mm-hmm.
Then mindfulness, Sadamato. This is about being endowed with full awareness, being present, attentive to what you're doing, your surroundings, not just drifting through on autopilot.
Crucial. Next, purity in action, Susikamasa. Having blameless, faultless actions, body, speech, and mind. It really emphasizes integrity, ethical conduct, and everything.
Integrity, yeah. Then acting with discernment, Misamakarino. This one is fascinating. The text compares it to a doctor treating a disease.
How so?
It means you consider things carefully, like, if this happens, then I will do this, or if I take this action, this is the likely outcome. It's about thinking ahead, weighing consequences, making decisions thoughtfully, after considering things properly, not just reacting.
That's really practical. Okay, then self-control, Sanyatasa. Being flawless and disciplined in body, speech, and mind again, reining in impulses, acting with intention.
Discipline, yeah. And living a righteous life, Dhammacakka. This one actually varies a bit depending on your path in life, according to the commentary. For a householder, it means avoiding deceit, like using false weights in business and living honestly through means like farming, trade, cattle rearing, things like that. For someone who's renounced worldly life, like a monk, it means living righteously through alms begging and avoiding other professions, like medicine or being a messenger.
So the principle is the same, but the application differs.
Exactly. The core is living in harmony with ethical principles, whatever your specific path might be. And finally, heedfulness, apamatasa. This basically means not being forgetful of mindfulness, maintaining that constant state of attention and diligence, always awake to your actions and intentions.
So diligence, mindfulness, purity, discernment, self-control, righteous living, and heedfulness. That's the list.
That's the recipe, I could say.
And the incredible result of cultivating these, his glory increases. And this glory, it isn't just about, fleeting fame. The text says it includes power, wealth, honor, and renown, real substantial prosperity. The story actually concludes with Kumbhaghosaka attaining the fruit of stream entry, which, for you listening, means a significant first step on the Duda's spiritual path. It indicates this profound, irreversible shift in understanding and towards liberation.
So he gained both worldly and spiritual riches in the end.
Exactly. And many others listening to the teacher that day also benefited from this profound teaching.
So the deeper insight here really is that true prosperity, true honor, they aren't just external things you acquire or stumble upon, like that hidden treasure.
Right.
They are the natural consequences of cultivating these internal virtues.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you start or what your material status is right now. It's about what you actively become.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, our curious listener? The story of Kumbhaghosaka, it's clearly more than just some ancient tale. It's a really profound lesson in resilience, integrity, and these often hidden pathways to genuine fulfillment. It challenges us to look beyond the obvious surface-level metrics of wealth.
Yeah, and it raises a really important question for your own life, I think.
Yeah.
If genuine glory and prosperity are truly rooted in these qualities, diligence, mindfulness, purity, discernment, self-control, living righteously, heedfulness, then what hidden treasures might you be concealing? What potential lies dormant within you? And maybe more importantly, what internal qualities could you choose to cultivate more deeply right now to truly unlock that potential, regardless of whether anyone else notices or gives you external recognition?
That's a powerful thought to leave things on.
It is.
Well, thanks for diving deep with us once again. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep unearthing those incredible nuggets of knowledge.